Hello, family and friends. It's day 76, cycle 4, day 12. Welcome to my quest to crush aggressive diffuse large B-cell lymphoma, DLBCL stage 4. We're using the R-EPOCH immunochemotherapy to crush non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Thank you so much for joining me on the journey today and every day. Let's get into it. You guys know what we're talking about today. So I saw this quote, which you can see here in Instagram, from Brene Brown, whom I respect very much. And she was interviewing on her podcast Dr. Susan David. And I forget the name of her most recent book, but she is like an eminent expert on toxic positivity. So it got me to thinking, is my positive attitude toxic positivity or not? Right? There is a distinction. So then I kind of went down a rabbit hole. First, I really enjoyed the quote. So I guess let me start with the quote first. And I'm just going to share it here. Toxic positivity is forced false positivity. It may sound innocuous on the surface, but when you share something difficult with someone and they insist that you turn it into a positive, what they're really saying is, my comfort is more important than your reality. And so when I read that quote, well, A, it got me thinking, is my positive attitude toxic positivity? But B, I'm like, okay, now I'm getting it. I don't think so, right? Based on that data, first, anybody that knows me personally knows that I never, ever tell someone to be positive when they tell me what's going on with them, right? I never spin it and say, oh, here's the positive slant, ever. With the exception of my children, possibly my husband. And I only interject there when they start to get paralyzed by the negativity of whatever the thing is. And I'm not saying I'm throwing the positivity on them. I'm saying after we've thoroughly thought it through, investigated, come up with our thoughts, if you start to get paralyzed in either decision paralysis or just the overwhelming hopelessness, nothing is served by that. We can't move on if we're just stuck in that spot. So certainly, you've heard me before, and I'll connect it up here, and it's down in the description. My positive attitude is not exclusive, right? You have to have the feelies. You have to, there's such a thing that I have called pity parties, right? When you acknowledge the feelings, you deal with them, you address them, and then eventually you need to move on and do the next thing that has to be done. I don't know how else to articulate that. But from a toxic positivity perspective, and based on this definition that Susan David's mentioning, I don't believe that I do that to myself or those around me. You guys keep me honest if you think I do. Comments down below. However, on this rabbit hole, then I started looking. Is there a benefit from a health perspective to being positive in general? Or taking and I'm not sure I would call myself positive. What I would say is that I have a positive attitude armor that I use to tackle obstacles that come my way. And I think that's what I described in the video, way back when. So I'm like, is there power in that? Does that help? And the reason I went down this rabbit hole was because last week, when I posted the video about my PET scan results, I'll add that here. It's also down in the description. I had somebody on socials mention that they thought that I was so successful with this treatment so far. I'm only about halfway through. Well, at that time I was halfway through because of my attitude. And I was surprised by that. And I said in the response that, I'm like, I think about my positive attitude as my mechanism for tackling the day and moving forward and not getting stuck, like I just talked about, in the negatives and the hopelessness. And just being overwhelmed with, you have stage 4 cancer and start, drawing up your will and, get ready to say goodbye and all that kind of stuff. No, that's not where I am. That's not where I put my noodle. But I was like, I wonder if the attitude has some bearing on the success of the medical scientific treatment or not. So I did a little research. I'm going to share it with you. There was one study with Dr. Yannick out of Johns Hopkins where she was studying cardiac patients with a bad family history. And those with a positive attitude had 1/3 less likely to have a cardiac event in 5 to 25 years that the study, in the 5 to 25 years, which third is pretty significant. Now, I didn't do a lot of research about the efficacy of the test and how many patients were tested and so forth and all that, but I was just kind of doing a quickie. Another study out of the University of Kansas said that they believe, hold on, I can't read my, smiling. So this was interesting to me. So it wasn't positive attitude, it was just smiling. Smiling, even a fake smile, like forcing yourself to smile, that they found reduces both heart rate and blood pressure just by smiling regularly. So I also thought that was interesting. Kind of on the positive slant, but not like a whole-on positive attitude. Just a smile made a difference out of that study. So there is some belief based on a few other studies, and I didn't write them down, where they were from, sorry, that the positivity may reduce the stress reaction in the body and the stress, specifically the stress inflammation in the body. And I don't know, I assume that you guys know, but if you don't, inflammation causes a whole lot of damage in your body in general, right? So that's why arthritis is so damaging to your joints, right? And inflammation around your heart or any of your organs will cause the organ to be under stress, right? So if you can reduce the stress reaction in your body, that overall makes you healthier. And there's some belief that the generally positive people have a less inflammatory stress reaction, if at all. Like they're able to manage their stress reaction by being positive. So I thought that was all very interesting. So to answer the question, is my positive attitude armor toxic positivity? I believe the answer is no. It is armor that I use on a daily basis to tackle the obstacles that come before me. But is it toxic positivity? No. And the reason I think that, okay, so here's another definition of toxic positivity from Susan David's TED Talk on a similar topic. But when we push aside normal emotions to embrace false positivity, we lose our capacity to develop skills to deal with the world as it is, not as we wish it would be. Susan David. So again, I don't believe in any of my positivity that I discount or ignore the reality of my situation or anyone else's situation, when I was advocating for Bill's illness or myself, etc. Right? I know that the stats for aggressive DLBCL, stage 4 with liver engaged is, I forget the number right now, it was 75 or 82 or something in that area. Right? But that is survivable. I mean, 75 to 82 is not 10% or 30%. And I think in some of our earlier discussions, I talked about there was almost a month where we didn't know what type of cancer this was. We knew it was in the abdomen. Was it, pancreatic? Was it late stage ovarian? Et cetera, et cetera. All those had miserable numbers, right? I was pretty devastated and panicked about what my future held and how I was going to help support my family if I had a month or 3 months or 5 months or 6 months. And those numbers are much different, right? Their survival rates are under 30%, some under 20 and 10%. So are they survivable? Absolutely, right? You could be that 10%, but likely no. It's a different discussion, right? Then you go into a treatment plan, if you have one, with the what I want to do what I need to do to stay with my family. But at some point there's a discussion about the quality of life of the treatment plan, if it's effective or not effective versus the time that I spend with my family and living until I die, right? Which is very important to me, right? Tomorrow is never guaranteed, and we need to live every day. As you know, I end every vlog that way. And so that's kind of my feeling on this topic. So my answer is no. My positive attitude armor is not toxic positivity. And I certainly don't push that on anyone else, right? It's ever. All right, so that is what I wanted to talk about today. All right, so let's jump into my to-do list. Again, I'm going to show you quickly Let's do a lightning round. I worked today. I did hydrate. Cheers. Just water today, not tea. I'm making progress. This morning I brewed 24 ounces of peppermint tea, and then I mixed it with water, half and half the whole day. So I've already completed 48 ounces, and I had 12 ounces before I started that. So I'm at 60 ounces. This is my 72nd ounce when I finish this cup. So I'm cooking with gas as far as my hydration. We're going to go real quick. I'm just going to show you here. I did on the Fitbit to Strava. That works. Connection's good. Yay. Strava to Charity Miles is not working. I've decided to back burner this for now. I will continue to try and do my Charity Miles just by using the app itself. And when my new phone comes, let's see if it'll work there. I'm getting like this funky error message between the two apps. Strava has an online, I can do it by web, but Charity Miles does not. And it's in the phone that's restricting me. So I thought maybe the new phone will let me do it. So fingers crossed there. All right. What else did I do today? I already alluded to the Susan David TED Talk on, oh, here it is, Emotional Agility. I think that's the name of her newest book as well, Emotional Agility. And what she talks quite a bit about toxic positivity, but what she's really saying is we need a agile toolkit that allows us to deal with everything that comes at us. And the way to do that is to meet your daily obstacles with reality and real emotions. At least be real to yourself. Don't pretend. And I think that really is the difference between toxic positivity and positive attitude armor, I'm calling it, is the toxic positivity is you're lying to yourself and others. I don't believe that I'm doing that. You guys let me know if you think I am delusional on that one. I did some more Fiverr research to find the person to do my branding logo work, graphic artist, so we're still working on that. And I toasted some pecans. Ta-da! I think there's some, going on here. And here, I'll just talk you through it. Laid the pecans on parchment paper, heated the oven to 350 degrees, my convection oven, so it was air fryer. I cooked them for 5 minutes and left them in for an additional 2 minutes after the oven turned off, pulled them out, let them cool a bit, chopped them, and put them into a mason jar. And they're ready for my oatmeal or porridge. Okay, so let's move on to my to-do. I think the same as yesterday. Work, hydrate, robotics call, and anything else is gravy, and we'll see it when we get there. Oh, I'm sorry. On the to-do list, we now have 13 people on our Charity Miles team, but I didn't see their exercise yet, so I don't know their name or who they are. And I did about a quarter of a mile, and I forgot to write down how many miles we did collectively as a team, but I'll put it up here on the screen. And way to go, team. I'm so happy that you guys are moving. Thumbs up. On my angel delivery today, I want to thank Nurse Lana because she was able to get my lumens to work. Both of them, she was able to draw the blood. And I'll mention that again later, but that was the angel delivery for today. Thank you. Okay. Oh, it's something else I wanted to mention on the Susan David TED Talk. She was very particular about the reality to feel the feelings, which I'm totally on board with, right? You got to deal with reality and feel your feelings. But one thing she did say, and I've heard this before, not to say I am the feeling, I am sad, because then you are the emotion, but rather to say, I am noticing that I'm feeling sad, right? Acknowledge it, but not that you are it. So all these titles I have on Facebook, on YouTube, where I said, I am such and such, tisk tisk. But I thought that was something valuable to share with you guys. And certainly, I've heard this nomenclature before. Often, for example, when you speak to your children, for example, it's better, rather than say, I'm angry at you, it's better to say, when you do X, Y, Z, it makes me angry at that that you made that decision or made that choice, right? So you're not angry at the person, you're angry at the activity or angry at the outcome of the activity. And that little bit of separation helps because, especially for children, they don't always get that distinction. Okay. All right. So if you just came for story time, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm really appreciative of your love and support and your listening to me. And we will see you tomorrow. All right, let's jump into status, and we're going to go lightning round again. I think mostly I'm just going to have it up on the screen for you guys. So on the eating front, the nausea was definitely managed today. No meds, not overwhelming in any way. The mouth, teeth, throat, no. So that was good. Weight's been steady. My fluid in was 112 ounces or 3.3 liters, and my fluid out was 3.1 liters. So acceptable. I'm going to change it up a little bit today. We'll do sleep. I slept for 6 hours and 8 minutes, and I had 1 or 2 times today where I just went and laid down for 15 minutes or so. Kind of just totally, not a meditation type of thing, but close your eyes and relax every muscle and just reset the body. And that's helping me make it through the full day, so good. Let's see, my movement was 6,200 steps yesterday, plus I had done some restorative yoga poses. My vitals were fine. My heart rate is still up. Speaking with Nurse Lana, she said she sees this often with folks on the mid-Christine, even young kids that have to take that chemo. So it is a chemo side effect. Just roll with it for now. All right, let's go through another lightning round on the chemo symptoms. Here we go. Oh, actually, okay. Neuropathy, yes, but it seems like it's easing a little bit. Hair is status quo. Skin is status quo. Nose clots, yes. Night sweats, yes. Headache, no. Fatigue, yes. Red skin, no. Brain, no. I think also I'll mention now. I'll just flash up yesterday's data and then do today's data, if that makes any sense. So I'll leave up what I had up there yesterday and then switch it to today's so you can just do a quick comparison if you're interested day to day. Since it's written down, it makes it a little easier to see what happened yesterday compared to today. Okay, so I'm going to close out today with doctor news. Nurse Lana came and changed my dressing, so the itch is much better. Thank you. And what a rock star, superstar. She was able to get the lumens, both of them drawing. They were already flushing, but now they're both drawing. She also gave me some tips for how to flush to try and prevent fibrin buildup, which I think is what prevents that draw. The lumens are really tiny, like 2 or 3 millimeters, 2 plus. So any fibrin that gets attached on the ends or anywhere in the line will cause that kind of issue with drawback. So we're making some progress. And that is all I have to share with you today. So thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for your love and support, and we will see you tomorrow. Love you. Remember, every day is a gift. Live it. All right. And if you think this discussion about toxic positivity versus positive attitude armor will help anyone, please share the video, give it a thumbs up so other people can see it. Thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow.